Call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the review of minutes of the previous meeting on 17th of March.
I think you're gonna have to hold off on accepting them because you only have 2 members here that were present at that meeting.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
He's saying that,
I'm not here, so.
yeah, we only have, can we pass it? Because we only have 2 members that were actually at that meeting here.
So,
I think we should wait for Mr. Gomes.
Okay, so we should actually, table it for the next meeting.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
you want to second that,
Motion to table.
okay.
And also for the next one, we can table that.
Second, yeah.
Postpone that one also. Well, I guess the new business is next.
Yeah, well, the update on the day-to-day activities. I was actually out last week, I was sick, but I was able to get some work done from the house. Things in the office are definitely going well. We're getting a lot done, catching up, getting things, trying to put things in place. So as far as the office, day-to-day activities, things are going smooth. I do want to bring this up because it came to my attention today, just as an update to the board, that our tenant board member Isabel resigned as of April 21st, and she's no longer on board. So with that being said, there is an opening for a tenant board member. If anybody's interested, we're going to put out a letter to everybody here. If anybody's interested in joining the board, they can come to the office and we can tell them the proper channel to do, to go about getting on the board as a tenant board member. So we do definitely have an opening for a tenant board member. And now we can go to new business. I know I brought it up at the last meeting. In order for me to get paid for the construction work, through the construction, I had to keep my hours. So I'm just asking the board if they would go ahead and accept. I put in 27.7 hours on the construction project, which was a lot less hours than the electrical project because I really didn't have to go into apartments and sit there while they were doing work in apartments. So I just asked the board to go ahead and vote that I can go ahead and collect the 27.75 hours from the construction project of the windows and doors, the siding doors.
Got a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next on the agenda is something we got like 4 years ago, and then it just came in the mail. I did send it into the Department of Housing. I am not sure exactly what this means. They're also not sure. So I guess at the Acushnet Housing Authority, we have 1 meter on the property. So basically, the electric comes in and Dig Safe will come up, they'll do everything up to that meter. And everything else is, just goes through each building.
Gas.
I'm sorry, the gas. Oh, excuse me. That's okay. You want me to put you on a chair over here? Okay. Here we go.
Right over here.
Oh, okay, you can go right over there. So, I guess if you read the letter, the Electric Commission is saying that we now, because we have 1 meter, own the pipes throughout the facility. So, I'm not sure, I guess they did some kind of a study on the pipes, if we have to replace them. This is all new, it just came in last week. I did send it to Department of Housing and research and everything. I'm not sure if this applies to all housing authorities or we're one of the only housing authorities that have 1 meter. So this is something that is going to come up. I'm not sure if it's going to be in a construction plan. They do, DHCD does want to go to full electric by 2028. So this, we might be obsolete and have no gas, it'll be all electric. But this is something, I know, this is something that's in the works. We don't know what's going to happen. So we're leaving it up to the construction people at Department of Housing to figure out what we have to do we have to work with the public utilities, we have to have a survey done, and it's just all new. They didn't know what they were going to do with it yet. So. But it does state that we have to have it done by a certain date, so they are working on it. So I'm just letting the board know that this has come up. The next item on the agenda is our current laundry situation. So right now we have a washing machine that's not working. We only had actually 1 or 2 problems with people coming in and not having the machine available. The problem with it is we can't get it fixed, so we have to buy a new one. But we actually, since COVID has happened, we probably only have, did we do a count about 20 people?
About 20
About 20 people in development that do laundry. So there shouldn't be any problems with the washer and dryer. There's also, I've been calling around with other housing authorities to see what they've done. We can also, instead of buying a new washing machine, try something different. We can go ahead and get a company to come in. It's like a laundry service. They come in, they bring a washer and dryer, they bring a coin machine, they set everything up. If anything breaks, that during the weekend, after hours, there's a number the tenant calls, they come out, they fix the washing machine. But what happens is, it's $1, I think it's $1.50 to wash and dry, so it will go up by 50 cents. But they come in and do all the repairs on the washer and dryer. They update them, we get new washing machines as, I think they put front loaders, they're better machines. So I just want to bring the situation up to the board, because we either have to buy a washing machine or, maybe look into renting
The
the.
tenants' fees changed?
It would be $1.50 to wash and $1.50 to dry. We would only get 75 cents. The company takes half of the profit, so they come in once a month, they empty the machines, they take the money, and then they give us a check for half of whatever they collected. The only problem with that being is, because a lot of people don't do their laundry here anymore, I don't even know if it might be a trial period, because in order to have them, we have to generate so much revenue to have the washer and dryer here. But it does stop the fact of having to have the appliance guy come in. The last time we waited almost 6 weeks for the part for the washing machine to come in. So the washing machine sat there for 6 weeks and it wasn't working because the parts getting
I'll make a motion that if somebody wants to come in and set up machines, we go that route.
To go ahead and okay, I'm gonna call, set them up and have a meeting with
I
them.
don't agree with that.
Don't agree with
I think you should have your own washing machine.
Yeah, Wales Cove.
our own washing machine.
Washing and dryer,
Yes.
$6.
Yeah, because they keep the price the same. And then,
Well, to go to a laundromat, it's almost $3 to wash and dry, so,
I
I mean, our water has gone up, so the water bill has increased
I
quite a bit.
What's gonna happen, I believe, you're saying it's $1 now, it's gonna go to
It
$1.50?
would go to $1.50 because we have to split the fee with the
Understood.
washing center.
The thing is, you're gonna get a new large machine that they probably only have to do 1 load, for the week instead of 2, too.
I understand that.
And I think it would be, I think it would be good too, because like he said, to wash in our washing machines and dryer, it's over an hour. So I think they're the new updated machines, it's probably half the time for washing and dryer.
You're gonna save on
So,
water.
yeah, we're gonna save on water, it's gonna be a bigger turnover. It's not gonna take somebody an hour to wash their clothes, it's probably a,
I want to ask the tenants what they think about it or something.
Oh, I'll say something if you want.
Sure.
To go to a laundromat, even the cheapest one, which is right on Main Street, the one that's unattended, and I go there sometimes because I don't wash every 2 weeks. I do have tokens for here, and I do come late in the evening. You're not talking about $3, Rainey. You're talking about closer to $6
Yeah.
for wash and dry at Wales Cove. And I know that by personal, $6 to wash and dry. This $1.50 is nothing. And may I make a suggestion? Take it all away. Do they have the models? Wash it and dry it, put 4.
they do have, like, they know it's an elderly community, so they do have specific dryers that, like, are easier to get the clothes in, get the clothes out. They also have a quarter machine, so if you don't have tokens, you can come in, you put your dollar in the machine, you don't have to worry about waiting until the office is open to get tokens.
And now these over here, I can't even think of the name one, where the Chinese restaurant is on Main Street. You know where that is, Mike. You can actually put in your debit card now.
Yeah.
And you know something, I think that is,
It's a beautiful
that
service.
is an option that they have, you can actually use a card instead of coins.
And that is way below.
My kids
You go to the one on the avenue.
Yeah, exactly,
You go to the one on the avenue and it's operated by the same company.
yeah.
And sure, you're getting free dryer, but one washer is almost $6. So come on, give me a break. $1.50, even if it's $2, is nothing.
But what's also nice about it is if at night, like if there's a problem,
It is for some of
there's a
us.
phone number to call, and then they come in and they fix everything for us. So we don't have to worry about, you know, replacing it, waiting for parts and,
Just, can I say, that's something that they're technical now with the electronics, it's not much I can fix on that, so you have to call somebody.
yeah, most housing authorities have gone that route.
Who's asking?
Anybody else got a comment?
But I think getting the quarters to put in the machines is gonna be a hassle, because my granddaughter and my grandson, they have the coin operated. She goes to the bank, she can't even get quarters.
No, they're gonna put a quarter machine right in the laundry room. It'll be right in the wall. They come in, they put a coin machine, so you put your $5 in and you get your coins right in the laundry room. So it would be, yeah, so it wouldn't be any,
Oh,
yep.
okay, we wouldn't have a problem.
No, and some might be quarters, and some, like he said, might be a swipe card, so you just put, I don't know how it works.
Might be the
but you put
same
your
quad
money in.
machine as the other.
Yeah, you get
Yeah,
a,
it must be,
yeah, you
So
get a
it's
card.
$1.50 to wash and $1.50 to dry.
Yeah.
So that would be an extra dollar alone.
It'd be an extra $1, but also the price of water and the sewer fee has gone up, like
We should
a
go
lot.
up either way.
Exactly, most housing authorities are $2 to wash and $2 to dry, but we're only gonna be $1.50.
Anybody else?
I have something to say. We have a man who works in this place, needs to be at least in the winter, very bad snow in the morning. I get up, I say, "Hey, who's cleaning snow?" There was my, I think it was around 3 or 3:30. He was cleaning it. So the people,
So-
when they get up, they have the
Yeah, so the tenant's gonna be able to talk to our tenant's comments,
Just looking for comments on the washing machine.
yeah, we're talking about the washing machine, to make things go smooth.
I don't know why we can't get another washing
Shane, you
machine.
can talk about that kind of stuff.
Well, it's the board, it's technically the board's decision to, either we move forward with technology, we can get a new washing machine, I'm bringing it forward to the board, to let you know. It's really hard to get a washing machine right now, and we might even be like 6 months out even to get a washing machine. So, you know, it might take us 6 months just to get any kind of equipment. Right, we were lucky enough to get a refrigerator and a stove to the garage, because they're like 6 months out.
We have a motion to try them out. Anybody?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Racine, for asking us.
All right.
Can I back up 1 second, Mr. Hussein? We did, prior to getting into the new business, here that we had our tenant, board member resign.
Yes.
I just asked the board if we could send Isabella a thank you note for her service in the past.
Because I haven't seen the resignations,
Yeah, it hasn't come to
That's
us
what
yet,
I-
but I
that's what
totally
I
agree.
understand.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you're gonna start at number D?
Yep, I'm gonna go on to D. So before I start,
Before you do that.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go over the new policy that we have to do to make sure that everyone knows all the rules and regulations that apply to everyone. This is nothing personal, this is something that we have to do. So, okay, I just wanna let you know that. And no questions until she's finished. Right? Okay, go.
alright, so basically, I just wanna start off with the board, with the tenants, to let everybody know that every housing authority has a list of policies, and I've been talking about updating them for 3 years. It's been brought to our attention in the last 2 days, the chaos that this has caused with tenants. We've gotten letters, we've gotten people calling, crying. I don't know who's spreading this misinformation about what these policies are doing, but I just want to inform everybody that these are policies that have been followed. We're not out to change anything. We're not out to make anybody's life miserable. I think it's pretty sad that people here have been scared all week over what is taking place. And that's why we're gonna start looking into these policies, because there are a lot of things going on outside of the office that are being discussed, that are being talked about, that aren't necessarily true information. I really feel a lot of people in here are being misled. And what we're trying to do here is stop a lot of the tension in the Acushnet Housing Authority and make policies, maybe keep them the same, it's up to the board, to make sure that each and every tenant has to follow the policies. What we're gonna do is set policies. The three of us are here to enforce them, especially me. We just wanna make sure that the rules are the rules for everybody. Nobody's getting specific attention, and it shouldn't be that way. So I apologize for anybody that had to go through what this particular person went through, hearing things that are, were just tangled and just not even true. So with that being said, we're hitting 3 policies today. And I'd like to actually to hold the common area till the last one, because I think that's gonna be a little bit of a conversation. And I'd like to just go to alcoholic beverages, which if you look at all the policies, these are all the policies that we're gonna have to renew in the next, couple months, several months, can take time. But these policies have not been written, or some of them have, but most of them have not been written or brought up to the board since 2000. So that's why I just think, we can just start fresh, everybody follows the same rules, and update the policies. So with that being said, the alcoholic beverage policy, it's been the same all along. We've never had a problem with any alcoholic beverage issues on the housing authority. Right now, as it stands, it is basically just like other housing authorities. I did call around for that. And basically, the alcohol policy states, that it shall be the policy of the Acushnet Housing Authority that no alcoholic beverages are to be consumed on any property of the housing authority other than inside the tenant's individual apartments. When people do meet outside, we never have, we don't have problems with open containers or anything. I just asked the board, it was last updated, I think in 2000, that we go ahead and update the same policy. There's definitely no alcohol in the community center. People can rent the community center for functions, but there is no alcohol also in the community center. But that's the same as everywhere. You can't just go to a beach or public property or a park and bring alcohol. So it's basically the same as every other state ruling on the alcohol.
Want us to vote on them individually?
Yep.
Motion carried. I'll second.
He's like,
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
The next policy is the smoking policy. We really just recently did that one, and besides a few little complaints, I just think we have to change some of the writing in the smoking policy. Now, I guess, since we have done it before, they have legalized marijuana. With that being said, it is legal to smoke it, but even if you have a medical marijuana certificate, the rule of the housing authority is no smoking in common areas, hallways, porches, and there's no smoking in apartments. All smoking has to be done 25 feet away from the buildings. So even if somebody, per se, has a marijuana card and is legal to smoke, they're still not allowed to smoke in their apartments. So we do just have to add that, marijuana is considered smoking, and it follows the same rules as any other smoking on the property.
So how does that read?
Well, smoking is not allowed in common areas such as community hall, building hallways, porches, swings, picnic tables, picnic benches. All new tenants and their guests after May 20th, 2014 are not allowed to smoke in their apartments or in 25 feet away from any housing authority building. An existing tenant and guest prior to May 20th, 2014 shall be allowed to smoke in their apartment, but that we have already, all those people that were grandfathered in are no longer here, or they don't smoke anymore. If you smoke outside, please be respectful of other tenants and always dispose of waste property not on the ground. So calling around other housing authorities, they have no smoking policies 100% on the property. They're not allowed to smoke in their cars, they're not allowed to smoke on the properties.
Yes, Swansea.
Swansea,
Yes.
Fairhaven, Westport, and no smoking on the property.
Nowhere.
I think that people that smoke are going to smoke, so it's, you know, it's gonna be hard to police this. I think letting them smoke within 25 feet of the property. I mean, I don't smoke, but my mom does, so, I mean, it's hard to say don't smoke in your apartment, but that is a state thing, that they don't want people smoking in apartments because of oxygen, and, you know, if your neighbor doesn't need to smell, to smoke.
What needs changing here, because
I think, well, I mean, it would be my suggestion to the board just to add, you know, the part about the marijuana.
smoking is smoking, no?
Yes, smoking is smoking. Even
Doesn't
if
say
you have a
smoking
medical
cigarette.
certificate, it doesn't give you the right to smoke marijuana in your apartment because your neighbors have to smell it also.
Mhm.
So,
What I'm saying, I believe this covers it, that's right, the way it's written.
yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, we can do that. We do have, like, you know, this, like I said, we've had some issues with this. We're just bringing it back to the board so we can go ahead and start policing it. Like,
Okay.
people smoking on the porches. And the thing is even smoking on your front porch, we've had some complaints in the last couple of weeks about people smoking on front porches. And it's not that we don't want it, it's that the neighbors, it goes in the windows and then it goes in the hallways. So when you open the door and you're smoking on the porch, it is getting into your neighbor's houses and they can smell it. So we do ask 25 feet away. A lot of people smoke in this bench in front. We're okay with it, it's in the corner, it's not within the 25 feet, but I mean.
You're outside.
Yeah, nobody's had a problem with people smoking in the front corner over here, so.
Again, I think it should be enforced, I believe it's already in the rules, it has been since, it looks like, for at least, since prior to 2014, because that's the date written in here,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I think we just enforce it, and it'll be fine.
Okay, so actually just update, to keep it the same, effective today.
So we don't need to vote on this.
Well, we just vote that, we'll,
Vote them.
yeah, we'll just vote to keep the smoking policy in force
As
as
it
of
is
today.
written.
Yeah.
Motion made.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next one is the trash policy. This one actually, we're gonna be getting cameras with our opera funds. Actually, with our opera funds to go ahead and, get cameras in the back. So what is happening is people are cleaning out their houses, putting furniture back there, rugs, they're not breaking up their boxes. So having cameras back there, we'll be able to, like, you know, if somebody leaves a large item of TV, then we can tell them, you know, it's at their expense to get rid of it. We do have a company that will come in and pick up stuff. We give people the number. But the trash policy, basically, I think we should keep that the same, except add the fact that any large items are not to be put by the trash. Any large items have to be disposed of by the tenants themselves. They can put anything that fits in the barrels and the recycling. And the other thing we can bring up too is a lot of people are still, they put their water bottles in a plastic bag and then they put the whole plastic bag in recycling. But technically you need to empty the plastic bag, it has to be bottles only. We're trying to enforce that, but it doesn't always work, so.
So what does that say about trash?
So right here, our trash policy states, all trash may be placed in plastic bags. Plastic bags shall be tied tightly before placing them in the outside garbage barrels. Do not pour, well, that's just the garbage inside the garbage barrels. Trash barrels have covers and they should be covered at all times from animals, so the animals don't get in, and no trash on the ground near the barrels. If the barrels are full, just to call the office. And I would like to add in there that TVs, furniture, or any large items, computers are not allowed to be left in the trash bin area. So that would probably be the only thing I add on is the TV, furniture.
It seems obvious, but it should be written. Motion made.
It has to be written because it happens every week.
All in favor?
Yeah.
All right, and fifth, hallways and porches. I have taken some of the board members around to show them some of the issues that we're having. Once again, I just enforce what the board makes them. On the inside of hallways, we have been having problems, and we all have to take into consideration that in every building, there's 4 apartments. So one apartment on the top upstairs has a little bit of an opening. People seem to be putting benches with shoes and storage, and people are keeping water bottles and all kinds of stuff in the hallways. The policy that we have now is to keep hallways clear. All hallways are emergency exits. Over the past couple of years, people are putting chairs, tables, other things in their hallways. It looks nice, it does look nice, but once again, if we want to think about safety and what's right when there's 4 people living in one hallway, is the hallways should be free and clear of anything. They shouldn't have benches, they shouldn't have shoes. All hallways should be open in case there's a fire, people can get in and get out safely. So, as of right now, it's...
4 tenants, use the same porch.
Well, yeah, right now I'm just going through the hallway, it's talking about the hallway, and then we'll get to the porches.
Again, it seems clear in the current rules, hallways are to be kept free of storage.
Yes,
Nothing more needs to be said, we don't need to add, we just need to enforce.
and it's come down from DHCD a couple years ago, but we haven't enforced this, but I'm, once again, leaving it to the board. I guess it's been a problem for hallway mats and rugs. People have been buying rugs, mats, people have been tripping over them. We here have not had a problem. I myself like a mat in front of my door because when I come in from outside, I wipe my feet before I go in the house. I think that should stay, unless we do have a problem. But as far as furniture or anything else in hallways, I think hallways should be free and clear of.
Nowhere here does it say they can't have a mat, it says clean.
No, it can't, that was like a public housing notice that came in. We never adopted that rule. I'm just letting the board know.
I think the only issue would be if someone had a rug with the ends curled up because it wasn't properly put down, and it's obviously a hazard, and that falls under the hazard, but as long as they're free of storage,
Yep, and this has been a rule that people have signed a lease for, but once again, it basically has caused problems because it's not fair that like maybe 1A doesn't have any room to put anything, but like maybe 1D has a whole area where they can put a table and something else. So it becomes not fair, and it does cause problems amongst the tenants. So I just asked the board.
Would you read that?
Sure. Hallways are to be kept free of storage. The authority asks tenants to help with the upkeep and cleanliness. The authority will thoroughly clean the hallways and stairs 2 times during the year. If you're unable to take care of your hallway due to an illness, please notify the office. But basically it says hallways are to be kept free of storage, meaning anything. Like there shouldn't be anything in any of these hallways.
motion to keep it as right now and do any changes in necessary.
I second.
Okay, and with the hallways comes the back porches. The back porches have been an issue since I started here. We have walked around with the fire department on several occasions. We have sent letters. We haven't done that in a long time. Basically, the porch states
Page 7.
Thank you. Porches serve as dual purposes for apartments. First, they are designed to be an enclosed haven for residents to enjoy the outside, weather bug-free. Secondly, they serve as an alternate emergency exit. These porches are shared by 2 apartments and are to be kept clear of items that would hamper an emergency exit. Please do not use your porch to dry laundry or store items that don't fit in your apartment. The porches are common areas. All policies regarding common areas apply. So since I have been here, it has been stated that each tenant can have 1 fold-up chair on their porch. That way, if they want to sit down, they can unfold the chair and fold it back up. It's gotten to the point where people have tables back there, and chairs and plants and storage bins, and they are using it as more of a storage area than an emergency exit. Now, each upstairs apartment has their porch, but they also have a staircase that they can come downstairs to use to throw out trash and other things. So it's hard when downstairs has chairs out, when the people upstairs are trying to come downstairs so they can get with a trash bag and get trash out. I understand that there's not a lot of storage here, but if we take everything into consideration, once again, what's fair for one is fair for the other. If everybody had one fold-up chair on the porch, it would look nice, it would look neat, and they can sit down, they can utilize the porch, and people can get out in a safety or a fire situation.
So maybe you should add the language, exact items that are allowed.
Yes, one fold-up chair, which has been since
Well, you know
before.
what items meant that.
Yeah, one fold-up chair.
What is it now?
I didn't get it.
Any changes?
I mean, these have been from day one, it's just gotten out of hand,
Yeah.
so. So I could add the porches are shared by 2 apartments and are to be kept clear of items that would hamper an emergency exit. Each tenant is allowed to keep one fold-up chair on the porch for their use.
Per unit or per person?
Per unit, I think, yeah, because, and that's, you know, if one person has 2 people, then, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like what you're saying is that the only thing they would be able to have on their porch is one chair.
That's how it, since I've been here, when people move in, we say each tenant's allowed to have one fold-up chair, but it always seems to be more than that. The other thing too, now that we're talking about porches, and this has been a problem in the past, in winters, if you drive around, every porch has a chair on them. The problem is some people take them in, some people don't. During the winter, we've had to move chairs to go ahead and shovel. It's been, we've had people fight over chairs in the last couple of weeks because there's 4 apartments and only one chair can fit on the porch. I did notice yesterday that a lot of people put their laundry on the chairs because they have a laundry service that comes through, so it's nice if it's raining, keeps the laundry off the ground. But the problem is when you have 4 units and 1 porch that can only fit 1 chair, it's been a problem. So that's something else that needs to be addressed because we do have a lot of people in here that are fighting.
So the porches aren't big enough to put 2 chairs.
The porch is not big enough for 4 chairs. There's 4 apartments, there's 1 porch. So,
Hence the reason that you need to fold up so that whoever wants to use it at the time.
yes, and that's another thing that we were talking about, because Mike and I, we don't want to change everything for people, we just don't want people fighting over like little things like chairs. So if everybody did have one fold-up chair on their back porch, and if somebody wanted to sit out on their front porch, they can take their fold-up chair to the porch, sit down, and then fold it up and take it back with them. So, I mean, this is community living. People have to understand that. Everybody has to live and, you know, try to get along and, you know, not fight over the little stuff, so.
Understood. I didn't realize they weren't small. I was thinking that, you know, to allow only one, especially if there's 2 tenants, is not really fair, but I guess if there's not room for 2 chairs, there's not room for 2 chairs.
And we've even talked about, like, you know, having the housing authority buy a nice chair for each porch. That way if somebody wants it, but then it becomes a liability if somebody falls off the chair, if somebody trips on the chair, if somebody gets hurt, then it becomes a liability to the housing authority.
That's the road we live in.
Yep.
Well, we're also just about ready to have them under the gazebo, right, Mike?
Yes.
Say so?
Yes. Yep.
I'm catching up the phone behind, so.
So I will make a motion that we take the bylaw as written here and just add in after emergency exit that you are allowed to store 1 chair per unit.
1 fold-up chair on the porches, and that's all that should be on the back porches is 1 fold-up chair per unit.
So what you're saying is, can you have a fold-up chair in the front porch?
You can put, if you want to sit on the front porch, you can bring your fold-up chair to the front porch.
Wait for the question.
But you
Yeah.
can transfer,
Alright, so, yeah, it's not open for discussion yet.
because that's what I do right now.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have tenants' comments where everybody can go ahead and make their comments.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes on that one.
Okay. And last but not least, is the common areas. This has been a big problem. We never had people putting tables on grassy areas. Since COVID, we allowed people to gather, and it was great. It did cause a lot of issues, personalities, differences, arguments. It also is something that, people want to have tables, which is fine in grassy areas, but we have a maintenance man that has to move everything to mow around it. Some people mow around their own tables. Our common areas stay. And I also called a couple other common area, other housing authorities about this, and they don't allow anybody to have their own specific furniture.
They're common areas, right?
Yeah.
22.
A common area is any part of the presidential terrace that is available for use by more than one person. Any outside area of your apartment is a common area. The Nate Gomes Community Center is a common building for all to use. Swings are placed throughout the complex for enjoyment by the residents to sit and chat, for some to rest as they walk about. Decks to the rear apartment are used by 2 apartments. General rules for common areas. No smoking, no littering, no loud talk, music, or noise. Hallways and decks to be free of clutter and obstructions. There are also fire exits. The best rule of thumb is to practice the golden rule in common areas. We do provide swings along the property for people to sit at. We also have this new gazebo area that's going to have heat, a fan, and lights all on timers, so people can also sit in this area. I know I have people very concerned because some people have tables, they like to smoke within the 25 feet, but the problem is it's hard to say one person can have all of this stuff in their yard and nobody else. If we were to allow everybody to have whatever, certain people have in areas, it would look messy in here.
Yeah, 10 potting plants in one, if everybody had that, it would look.
Yes, if everybody had 10 pots of plants, and that's another thing in our next meeting we're gonna get to, because a lot of this has become a problem, because it's one person's beauty is not necessarily another person's beauty. And, people want to be able to use the grounds of the housing authority and not feel like they have to, if there's people always gathering in one spot, people being alienated to go to these certain areas where the common grounds of the Acushnet Housing Authority for all the residents that live here. People shouldn't be alienated and not feel like they can go to certain areas because, it's somebody's table or somebody's chairs and this has been a big problem. And it's sad that it's come to this, but it has, thank God for resident service. She's been really working hard to fix things, but unfortunately we've never had these problems in the past. But every so many years, the dynamics, the personalities in a place like this changes, and some people may get along for years, and then certain people move in and people don't get along, and it just causes a lot of problems. And we're trying to alleviate a lot of the situations that are going on here.
I believe there's more than enough written here to specify that, none of this happens. You look at the one Swansea has is 4 lines where lengthy, it spells out everything. I don't think there's anything needs to be added, and it just needs to be enforced, right?
It needs to be enforced, but what I'm so the community areas basically are also to be free of any clutter, anything. So are we saying that the people that have tables outside, are we saying that they're not allowed to do that? But we're not telling people they can't use the property. We're telling everybody they have fold-up chairs. They can take their fold-up chairs. They can bring them anywhere. They can converse anywhere they want. But they have to take their fold-up chairs and take them back with them because, we end up cleaning around the areas. Mike has to mow the lawn. A lot of the lawn isn't even there anymore because of people sitting in the grassy areas. It's all down to dirt. Like I said, this is something the board decides.
What do you think it needs to be added then? Just that no personal items may be left in common areas?
Yes, I think that will,
Clarify it for you?
I think that's the way it's always been, but we just have to, yeah, it doesn't specify that. But if you look at other housing authorities, they do specify, no swings, no tables, no chairs, no picnic benches, no.
I just think it should be quite clearly no personal items are to be left. It doesn't mean you can't bring your personal item into it, it just means when you go back, you gotta bring it back with you. I mean, I don't have an issue with people bringing their chairs and gathering in any part of the green. I think it's a great thing to go wherever they want and enjoy the place, just bring it back with you.
Right.
So I think at the end, you can just write, no personal items are to be left in common areas. It's pretty simple.
And a motion,
Motion made.
Second.
all in favor?
Okay.
All right, and that's all we have for this week. Next week, it's gonna be, not next week, the next meeting, you'll probably add 5 more. We're gonna hit the important ones first, so that we can start, enforcing some of the rules of the new policies.
Now, other questions?
Wait, I have, before the questions, I have one more thing for the,
Oh, okay,
board for
sorry.
ARPA funds. So we had a meeting for the annual, plan, that was held March 17th. We actually got our statement that we are receiving $75,000 in ARPA funds, which is really nice. It was something that, it was Mr. Hendricks, and, for us to get, which, opened up, some more spending for the Acushnet Housing Authority. So I just have to confirm with the board to get a board vote that we can go ahead and spend it on certain things. One being the camera on the trash areas. Another being, unfortunately, $13,000 for a panel for the firelocks, to update the new panels so they can talk to each other. And we're gonna put new shut-off valves in all the apartments, because if something happens to the toilet, we can't shut them off because they're so old. So the water's rushing out the downstairs, so we're gonna have all new shut-off valves put in each bathroom. And last is
The sinks in
the sinks in the toilets.
all of them, yeah, all 5 of them, yeah.
So that's some of, part of the money that's gonna be
Is that
spent,
one being shut off each building or each unit?
each unit, right?
Yeah, each unit, like, if somebody has a problem with the faucet now, if I go shut it off, like, they still won't shut off. But if it does shut off, when I go to turn it back on, the wash is all,
Yep.
the deteriorated and clogged, so I put in a quarter turn.
You don't have a lot.
Just those, yeah.
Which needs to be done, it increases the pressure too, of the water too.
Yeah, because it opens the whole thing instead of the rubber.
So, the rest of the money, unfortunately, is gonna be put towards a survey to bring in all electric in the housing authority. Right now, we have one box, I'm not sure how big it is, but they wanna see if that specific box and the electric coming into the facility will support all electric stoves, all electric heat, and all the electric that the state's trying to switch over to. So that's probably a $10,000 fee to have that study done.
What runs on gas currently?
Gas is the heat, some of the stoves,
Yeah, heating
and
stoves, hot water.
hot water.
Yeah, it's all.
So quite a bit,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
more than 50% of the utilities probably.
Yeah, 50, yeah. probably.
The only benefit in the new heaters that a lot of the housing authorities have put in is they're little heaters, they go outside of the buildings, and they pipe the, it's more like a forced hot air. The benefit is it comes with an air conditioner. So people don't have to have air conditioners in their window anymore. So it's a heat and air conditioner provided by the housing authority. So tenants, it's one less thing that they have to worry about putting air conditioners in now.
Along with going all electric, is there a consideration for going solar?
We're gonna start looking in, we have a meeting for Mass Narrow, our conference is in a couple of weeks. We're gonna sit down with some solar companies to see if we can put solar in the field, or if some of our buildings will now take solar panels. In the beginning, they said our buildings weren't set up the way the sun rises and sun sets for solar, but I think it's coming, they've had a lot more advancement in solar, so it's something that we can start definitely looking into.
Well, you want to take the space out in case you want to expand it.
Yeah, we want, yeah, well, what would be nice is if they did expand it, that they can put the solar panels on the new building if they do eventually build a new building.
I would think that's the way we should look at it.
Yeah, there's no funding for any new construction at
You
this
may
point.
want to put another building up here someday.
Yep. So I just asked the board to vote to go ahead and add the $75,000 in new projects to the 2023 annual plan.
Motion to add $75,000 to the annual plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Well, Senior did that, we might as well have a maintenance report.
Sure. Like I said, I'm catching up to fall way behind again, but I've been working on that one apartment, the shower's in, the plumber just finished the plumbing last week, so hopefully that'll be done in a couple of weeks. I had an emergency last week with the bathroom, I had to redo the whole shower, so took me away from there. And we had normal maintenance here in Garfield Street, and the electrician finally wired that, so just as soon as I find the time, we can, get that finished. It should only take like 3-4 days hopefully to wrap that up, but
So under here,
I would think so, yeah. It's I get the socket everything there, and it shouldn't take too much longer, so.
and I am in the process of summer, every time we do a construction project, we get a certain amount that goes into our checkbook. We can use that for certain things around the property, and we are looking into a really nice sturdy table set for under the gazebo. So if people do want to gather there, it'll be nice, a set that's going to last for years to come. So.
We have one empty apartment, Mike, that you're working on, that's all?
Yeah, it's been, well, since I came back, we ordered the shower, and, that took like 3 weeks to come in, and then the plumber just got that in finished. He had to move some pipes over, and I just sheetrocked it and joint compounded it. I'm just waiting for it to dry and go from there. Gotta put a floor in there, hopefully it gets some help in a week or two, get this polished up.
That's the only empty apartment we have?
That's the only empty apartment now, but we do have a tenant that needs the handicapped apartment, and then we do have a few more people on the upstairs to come downstairs list. So if it's a downstairs apartment, people are going to come down, and then the upstairs apartments will be open. So it's kind of like a trigger. As soon as that
It's gonna be
happens,
revolving.
it opens up a lot more units. So
Thank you.
Could I have a motion to accept the maintenance report?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, questions and answers for the tenant. Keep in mind, this is to respect each other's space. It's nothing personal, and it's just that something we have to do.
I have two things. One is the front porch and the chair. Couldn't we make that just a common chair that everyone uses so we can put our laundry on that chair? Because that's what a lot of us use it for, like really nobody sits in my chair. That's on the porch, but I don't even consider it my chair anymore. I consider it the front porch chair. So I don't care who sits in it, who uses it, who borrows it, as long as it comes back. And on laundry day, we can get it off the snow and the rain and put our laundry up. And when the laundry guy comes back and clean laundry, it's not on the cement, it's on the chair. There's no other place to put it.
How many front porches are there now?
Well, it's 18.
They got them little tables with 4 legs, could we get 18 of them so that it's a housing unit thing instead of somebody's chair that others are using,
yeah.
just to get their stuff off the ground? if they use the laundry?
Yes, and but you know what, the other idea I had, and I think it'd be great, we've had a problem with Amazon in the development. They also have Amazon package boxes. Instead of having a chair, maybe replace it with an Amazon package box. So when Amazon comes, people's packages can be put in the box and they can also put their laundry on it. I do agree there's a few porches here that when it rains, the rain does get under the porch, so if somebody's clean laundry is coming back and they're not home to get it, you know, they
Either
leave it on the
a
porch.
table or maybe like a drop-down table somehow or
Yeah,
something.
we can do the box with a tabletop, so they can actually, Amazon can put packages in, and then they can put their laundry on top. I think that would be good, because then there won't be packages all over the porches either, and it will keep people's packages safe.
What happens
When it comes to winter for shoveling, if there's other objects on that's more for like to move off the
Yeah, so
porch.
that's the only problem, and no, see,
Is
like,
this inside though?
no, it's outside. That's the problem with the chairs too, is not everybody might own the chair, so when we have a storm, we put, please remove your furniture from the porches, and that's when we get, it's not my chair, it's not my chair, it's not my chair, and then we have to like, you know, I had to move chairs to shovel the porches this winter, because people weren't moving their chairs, which we say in the winter to bring them in. But,
I don't think it's that
Della
hard to
falls
move.
asleep on a chair. She has a little nap every afternoon. She's more than 100 years old. And she sits in her chair ritually almost every day and takes a cute little nap there.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's no chair there, she's not gonna be able to, you know, enjoy her porch.
and like I said, these have been the rules since before all of us were here. We're not changing the rules.
We don't see that rule anywhere, okay? We don't see the rule where it says only one fold-up chair on the porches.
That has been enforced, that's what I was taught before I got here, that's why,
You may have been taught that, but that is not what the rules
you're
are.
right, it's not, but there's nothing allowed. If you want to get technical, it says that on porches,
I can read what I have in the
common
common
areas, common areas consider porches, back decks.
The
common-
porches serve dual purposes for apartments. First, they are designed to be an enclosed haven for residents to enjoy the outside weather bug-free. Secondly, they serve as an alternate emergency exit.
Yes.
Most of us get that. Some of us have written letters about it. But I've always had I got my chair folded up, if that's what she wants, that's what I got. I got a folding table.
I just want to reiterate, it's not what I want. It's something that
Can I
has been
finish,
rules of the
please?
housing authority for years.
Can I finish, please? Okay, and I have 3 hanging planters that are not on the floor. And that is my haven. To look out my bedroom window and see flowers. I live on the 2nd floor. And to see flowers in potted. And also, my broom and my mop, because mops are usually wet when you put them away, they're hanging up on the outside wall of the porch. The hangers were there. So people must have been doing this for years. And my clothespins hang there. So, I mean, to just say one folding chair sounds so sterile. It really does. When people wait for summer and spring to come, so we can have a little, you know, niceness.
But this is a problem, and I am playing a devil's advocate. This is my job. If the porch is shared by 2 people, one person can have 3 plants. Can the other person hang their plants there or no?
Yes.
So this is where, you know, we've had people come in, so-and-so has something on the porch that they don't like, but they want us to remove it, but they want to keep their stuff there. You know,
We each
like,
have sides. We each have sides.
it's an emergency exit. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
If something's hanging, and people can get out.
It's the board's decision. You guys make the rules, I just enforce them. I mean, I'm not out to make anybody's life miserable. I'm here to just try to make everybody.
Neither are we. You know, we loved this place when we first came here. You know, it was the best of the best, and we had all the woods, and we had all, you know, everything was so nice, and nobody stopped you from putting a hanging basket. You know, it's like, I get the clutter.
I don't even think the
I get
baskets even came up in the conversation today.
You have to consider the other tenant. That's the problem.
But you also
Yeah, he
have,
never even
You
used
just
that
can't-
word.
You just can't take the space and not respect the other tenant's space.
Oh, no, I'm only on my space.
What you have can attempt to do the same thing? I mean,
He can do whatever he wants, he never uses that
No,
door, but
no,
yes, there's two sides to
That's not
the
true.
every porch. There's two sides to every porch on my porch, on my side. Why should the one next door have anything to say? They can only do what they want on
Because
their
it's
side.
not technically your porch, it's a common,
Right.
it's a common area.
So I'm gonna go without looking at flowers, like Vanessa said. I gotta go without looking at flowers because some schmuck over here
Well, I
decides they
But
don't
I
like this.
want to address the flower thing because we didn't talk about flowers, we talked about folding chairs. So,
I'm talking about the back porch issue, and I would like it clarified.
and we need to communicate.
Things hanging.
What? Alright, so you.
I'm trying to clarify the back porch.
To have plan, okay, we haven't, we talked about fold-up chairs, we talked about the entrance. There is, I believe there's hooks for hanging plants. You know, we haven't talked about hanging plants, but, you know,
It seems to me that part of the issue is that on the second floor, it's not really so much an exit, so they can go out there and have it, but on the first floor, it's everybody's exit, it's not just everybody.
yes.
The second floor uses the first floor porch as an exit, right?
Yes.
So,
Benefits the second floor, yeah.
so that's kind of the issue is the first floor people can't have all that stuff because it's everybody's exit.
They
So-
don't have the same room, they don't have the same amount of room.
Correct, so when you allow somebody on the second floor to have it all and tell the first floor people you can't,
They can hang plants if they want, you know, I mean, but then they have outside, so they basically go outside.
Second floor doesn't have the same porch.
No, the second floor, one has a slider, one has a door, and there's a door on the other side. So the people downstairs most likely never go upstairs, but the people from upstairs can exit and enter that all day long.
Right, but they don't have the same porch area upstairs.
No, because they have an entrance to get in and out. So, yeah, it's, you know, it's more private on a second porch than it is on a first, like a first floor.
Can you put it in the second floor?
What?
first floor?
Can I speak? My opinion on that, you gotta have two exits, right, front and back.
Correct.
So upstairs or downstairs, upstairs gotta get out too.
Yeah,
So I don't think there should be anything on any porches.
that's what we're.
that's what we're trying to get at, yeah. Yep,
Because you know, okay, we haven't had any emergencies, we won't.
yeah.
it's a safety.
We have to get out.
That's where we're at. We agree with you, I'm trying to find a balance, but it seems like the only balance is, as you say, you know, nothing can be there.
I just have a comment. You know, the time I've been here, I'm on the second floor, as everybody knows. Would I ever sit there? No. That's someone's bedroom.
Hospital.
You're sitting in front of someone's bedroom.
Yeah,
And in my particular case, it's not gonna happen. So it doesn't apply to me.
Majority of people, it doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't. People die. I don't know how many sit in the back. But in my own particular personal case, and I see that it's not utilized that much, the back, the screened-in area, I would not even go there because I have a tendency to put French Catholic music on, which my neighbor that really doesn't care to hear. In the summertime, he does have the door open, you know, slightly the sliding doors, and it is that person's bedroom. And I've never felt comfortable even walking by to take trash out, to be honest with you. Ooh, it's like tunnel vision right ahead. We don't know what that neighbor's doing in that bedroom. It's their bedroom.
yeah,
Their
it
bedroom.
is.
Unfortunate it's the way the construction happened back in the 70s, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't change it. And I think, I almost want to say that most tenants here don't feel that quite comfortable. And I've never seen two people sitting on any back porch together. It's been one, and I don't know, it's my personal view. I would never, on the second floor where I am, where a gentleman is my neighbor, to go out there because it is his bedroom. And I find I'm almost intruding upon his privacy by doing it. So, I mean, I go other places, let's put it that way. And as far as sitting out in the front of any of this property, we don't do that in our own private homes. You know, I once owned my home, I got my daughters over here, my other daughters over there. We don't entertain in the front yard. We really don't, and I don't think any of you folks do. Whether you're single or married, you know, Lynn Berby doesn't, and I don't. Who do you see having a celebration in the front yard? Unless you really don't have a backyard, even in a private residential setting, especially in here, where you try to honor each other's privacy as much as you can. It belongs in the back. To me, it really, really does. It's just common sense. Because I don't think any, you know, Lynn, you own your home, I don't know about you, Nancy, and Rainey, I know owns his own home, and I don't think any of you have parties in the front, unless it's an overflow from the backyard, and that happens like at 1 in the morning. And we know why it happens.
And I just want to state a point that we're here for your safety, for everybody. We're here to protect you, and that's exactly, we're just trying to keep things straight across the line so you guys are protected, like he said, if there's a fire. I know I want to get out of my house if there's a fire. That's my biggest fear is getting burnt to death. And every tenant in here has the right to be able to exit their
There's
back
nothing
porch
blocking the
safely.
exit. If you've got hanging things, I'm trying to get to the point of the hanging things and the mops and the brooms and, come on.
But
make
it
store that on
does
the
say
wood
right
floor.
in the book that tenants aren't allowed to store anything that they can't fit in their apartment. So there shouldn't be brooms and nothing should be stored in common areas.
That's dirty things. Why do you want to store that inside?
The broom closet.
I'm not putting my
We don't
vacuum
have a
cleaner
broom
out there.
closet. We don't
I
have.
have a
You
question.
guys you have closet, you have closet in your,
We don't have
minimal
a broom
space.
closet.
So the other thing with that too is, like, we want to help everybody here. We don't want to go against anybody. We've been calling other housing authorities, and the other thing is, you know, the other directors basically said what everybody else has said. The same thing is, in the 70s, these places were built so people could stay in their towns, have a nice little place. We're responsible for giving everybody a safe place to live. We're not responsible for storing everybody's items, but I mean, that is not something any housing authority does. Fairhaven, Somerset has taken away all storage areas because it has become a big problem. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen here, but it is gonna be in the next policy that we're gonna write. We just spent $300,000 on a fire project. A lot of the equipment is now in the closets. We have been asked by the company not to have anybody store things in the closet because if they're bringing out their boxes, if they're bringing out their air conditioners, if they hit one of those fire boxes, it's going to be a real cost to the housing authority. Unfortunately, when these buildings were built, everything has to be updated. They needed a place to put all the components. The only place they could put it was in the closet. So now we're talking about our components getting ruined by somebody. And I have to say, I can show you pictures of some closets that would make your head spin. There's supposed to be 2 bins and an air conditioner. There's a few closets in here that, like, you open it and things would fall out. So people, once again, aren't following those rules.
They also don't clean out the closet.
Can you wait?
Sorry.
Okay. And that's the other thing. We found that people have passed and their stuff is still in the closets. So people are storing stuff in there and they're not cleaning it out. So then we ask people to clean it out and it's not my stuff, it's not my stuff. So that's another thing that's caused, just in the last week, we had a situation with tenants over a closet. And these are the things that we need just to stop. They're fighting over stuff that, you know, it's almost like you're being a principal of a school. Like they're fighting over closet space. But if everybody followed the rules simply, 2 bins and an air conditioner, we would not have the problems that would happen.
So are you talking nothing under the stairs?
We haven't even brought up the policy about the
Oh,
the next
please,
meeting.
so the air conditioner goes and we have 2 totes. I mean, that's where my little tree is. I mean, now I have right space in the tiny.
The problem being is the equipment in that closet. It's a lot. It's a lot of money worth of equipment that's on that wall. So if the equipment gets broken, is the tenant going to be responsible for paying for it? When they did put that equipment in the closet, it was
It
brought up
was,
to
it
Mike
was
that,
brought to my attention that.
yes, that nothing should be
This
stored in the
isn't
closets
allowed.
because a lot of money worth of equipment, they had no place else to put them, but in the closets. So, and once again, we're not trying to make anybody's life, we're just trying to move with the times. Everything changes around.
Now, I kind of missed something, because I had to run out for a minute, but as far as the outdoor space in the back,
Yeah.
I just moved in here in November, and I was told I could have a little patio set outside as long as I moved it when Mike
Yep,
was
and
mowing the
that,
grass.
yep, and that, we were going along with that because of COVID. Now it's going back to what it was before COVID.
So now people have to get rid of their patio sets.
I have to.
We just can't store everybody's, if we stored all of your stuff on our property, it would not look good in here.
I'm talking about like everyday living, being able to go in your backyard and sit outside.
You can go in your
And
backyard.
look, you have grills outside, but you can't eat outside at a table? That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna have tables, we have places that
But
we're
not everyone
providing.
wants to come over here, then. I want to go in my own backyard.
If we're barbecuing, we want to sit where we
I
are.
mean, I was just told this in November.
These have been rules that have been before me, you can get mad at me all you
I got mad.
want. Listen, this is my job, believe me, I like to tell you all, you can do whatever you want, because I don't really want to take complaints every day.
I just think
It's my job
this is where you
to,
live, and a normal person, when you all live in your houses, you can go outside. And I'm not saying have 30 people there, but I'm saying if I want to cook a hot dog on the grill that's right outside my window right now, I can't, I have to sit in one folding chair with no table, no nothing, just.
But in your building, there are 8 people that live in your building. If 8 people in your building were to put 8 tables and 4 chairs or 2 chairs behind your building, there would be no common area for anybody.
what did you say?
I said, if I had a table out there, I don't care who uses the table.
But that's the problem, you don't.
You're not the same as.
But you're not saying
everybody
everybody else in here. You have a bunch of different personalities that somebody might have a table, and if somebody else is sitting at it, we'll get a call that they don't want to be sitting at the table. And this is
But to
what,
me, nobody's gonna go sit at a table. I'm talking about my own
you have to
backyard.
remember, this is community living.
But your backyard is these other people's backyard. It's common, it's a common area.
I think you have to realize that a lot of people are gonna be upset over the changes in the policy of what you have now voted for. Okay, unfortunately, you vote and then we don't have a chance to vent first to give you other ideas. So I think we need to find out who is gonna hold the responsible person to say, okay, if it's you, then it's said to be, everybody needs to know, there'll be many changes that'll be coming out, people that have picnic tables, people that have, there's gonna be a lot of chaos over the next couple of months if what you said is you are going to do. My question to you, who is going to be the person to do it? Because I'll give you an example. That TV that's out there, somebody said that TV was dropped by somebody else who knows somebody here and said, oh, go put it over there and leave it. So who's going to be responsible for all these changes being done?
Okay, first of all, you're wrong about the TV.
Okay?
And if, this is the problem, everybody thinks they know everything.
Right.
The TV came in, it's going to be taken out. It's a tenant's TV. We know it's the situation, we're taking care of it in the office. The TV will be gone very shortly.
I don't have a problem with that because Mike tells me, I
No,
don't.
but the problem here is if people have any issues, call the office, don't ask each other because the biggest
That's what I'm
problem is things here are getting out of control because
Right.
people are telling fictitious stories. And
Well,
they're
that's
getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
This is gonna solve that. Who is
Yeah.
going to be
The
the person?
office.
Is it gonna be your assistant? Is it gonna be Mike? Is it gonna be the board? Who is it going to be?
I'm gonna tell you. So everybody's gonna get a letter. We're gonna settle this by a certain date.
Good.
We're going to target whatever we say. Those people are gonna get a letter. If the first time they're gonna get a letter, and The letter will go in their file, we'll speak to them. We're gonna give them we'll give a grace period, like, when we don't expect everybody to do this all at once. They'll get a grace period. After the grace period, if something is still there, they'll get a letter. The letter will go in their file. The second time will be a conference in the office, and after the third time, we now have an attorney that we have been working with for the last month. He's very aware of a lot of the stuff that's going on in here and how we want to fix it, but we have to do it the right way, and that's what we're going to do. So the third time, if you don't remove it, then you will be getting a notice to quit and a eviction notice, and then it will proceed at that point.
I don't feel like just because there's a couple of bad apples or
Right.
people starting stuff that we all can't enjoy our other side.
Yeah.
But the problem being, working here as employees, we get it, and but these aren't rules that we've changed today. These have been rules since the beginning. We just have to enforce them. And you know what? When you deal with 60 different personalities,
I get it. Oh,
I'm gonna tell you, I'm just gonna tell you in the last month, we have put out letters not to feed animals. I can tell you how many, and this is gonna be the next thing, people don't listen. There are peanut shells everywhere. So the problem is I understand your concern, and I feel bad for everybody here.
And I get about the connections. I don't get about human beings not being able to.
But listen, but it's not the problem, it's that we have to enforce the rules and have rules for everybody. Because being here, a lot of people that live here don't want rules for themselves, but they will come into the office on a daily basis and complain about everybody else.
Yeah.
So the thing is it's only fair that everybody abides by the same rules. And it's going to make everybody's life easier.
I just want to answer a question on the outside. I get it, obviously you can go outside. And the one chair issue is only one chair outside of your apartment that you can leave there. If you want to have somebody over, you can certainly have another chair in your apartment that you can bring out and sit with them and do your thing. It's just if everybody...
Oh, no, I get that. I'm not even talking about leaving the chair outside now. I'm just talking about, well, I am because I just moved in.
We can't have them left outside.
They just told me in November I could have a patio.
But things have changed.
Wait, let me finish now,
Yeah.
okay? I'm not mad at you, Lynn, one bit. I know you have to do what you have to do, okay? I'm just saying, for me, myself, I'm not the one that's gonna go hang with a gang of people and I just wanna sit outside in my own backyard and have a little folding table, couple of little chairs.
You can. We're not saying you can't, you just can't leave it there.
Right. So I have to bring a table in.
Correct.
So I can't leave the table up against where there is no lawn to mow. That's what I'm asking, right? Because that's what I was told, as long as I move it when my guests to mow.
And then that was it, but it's become a problem. I'm not even telling you that people are stealing people's chairs, people are stealing
You can
people's
only
tables.
leave one chair out on the patio. Anything else that you bring into the yard, you have to bring back into your barn.
I'd just like to share something with
What about
all
the
of you.
hanging plants?
Most of you know that I do still work part-time for an attorney who is winding down after today's message. Whoa, it's gonna come faster. In the interim, I was approached by a realty management company who actually manages 128 Union Street in New Bedford for Mr. Bonallo. My experience, having been exposed to living on Main Street, living on Acushnet Avenue, these are they're private properties owned by individuals, some who reside in the area, some who reside in Boston, so they depend upon that realty management company, a very, very involved situation. So now as a new assistant for this realty management company, I want to share something with everyone. We come to live here. I came here for my daughters. Free range. My daughter owns a house over there. My other daughter owns a house over there, but I was living there, as you know, in Acushnet. Go out in your backyard, do what you want, have 10 tables, whatever you want. My daughter owns the house. Now you become a renter at 33 George Street where she lives. My daughter leaves, she rents a house. What I have seen, and I want to share with all of you, we pay a penny of rent over here in comparison to now what is the market rentals throughout the state of Massachusetts, and they're pretty up there. So, a a lot of private homeowners are doing. They're renting, they may have a 2-family, a 3-family, it's all rented. The rents are exorbitant. But in order to stop any stuff going on in the backyard and the front yard, there are people in this city, in the town of Wareham, in the town of Dartmouth, who are paying over $3,000 to rent a 2-bedroom apartment.
Some is what it is.
There is no use of the backyard by any tenant. And that is right in their lease. They don't like it, go rent from John Doe. I'm the owner, this is what I'm asking you to do. They don't care about the squabbles, they don't want to be fined, because in a 2 or 3 tenement house, even in Bedford, anyone can complain. You got the fire department going over there, you got the Board of Health, and you have a lot of picnics and cookouts in the backyard, but maybe the tenants figure, well, oh, the trash is on the front, but on all of a sudden one tenant who doesn't like it, you got the same thing as what's going on here, but they'll call the New Bedford Board of Health, they'll call the Acushnet Board of Health and report it. There you have a real issue in someone's backyard. And in 2 or 3 tenement homes in New Bedford here, the yards are not that large. So I'm just sharing this experience, having dealt with, now with this management companies, with housing authorities, with, you know, with the RAFT Rent Assistance Program, which is, whoa, my God, unbelievable. Half the individuals don't know what's going on in the government of the state of Massachusetts. It's too bad. But as far as rental goes, like I say, and I've seen them, I've seen tenants who are paying a $3,000 in a lease housing facility, and that, there's no usage of any outdoor.
Most housing authorities have no personal property.
No personal property, but even private rental lands, these landlords, because they're not present, and, you know, who not helping out, I mean, it's gonna end up to be replacing, you know, Attorney Prentice eventually, very soon. And he manages 40 houses, plus that building. And as us any of us who work in that building, no. We used to have a little private area, a few of us, where we went to smoke, completely outside. One of the agencies, oh, the smell's coming through the window. Oh, no. Anyway, so now we're out on the street, and you have to abide by it, and you don't argue with James DeMello. Okay, that's that owner of that building. But then you don't, you know, even in...
I don't think any of us are trying to argue, I think we're just trying to...
No, I understand. Because when did I not have a table in the back?
I don't know.
Yes, I
don't
Yes, I did. And I used to sit there, but it came to the point, you know, the change was made, you know, so I just, I don't know, one of my kids has it, I don't even know. It wasn't even mine, it was my daughter's over here. But I think, especially when you come into either lease house or an assisted, you know, rental, that it doesn't exist anymore, and it's not going to exist. Because the liability of bringing even, I don't know, I just will not explain it. I think I just view things differently. And having been exposed to private rentals, Section 8 housing, very, very difficult. And these private landlords have taken it upon themselves. You're going to rent it. Your rent is $25,000, $3,000, and that's the going rent. By the way, right now, very, very high rents. It's called market rent. And many people buying a home for investment have to charge that market rent. I have seen rentals at the tune of $500 a month be increased to $12, so that the new homeowner could buy it.
We're not trying, like I said one more time, we're not trying to take away from anybody's quality of life. People have to understand, we're here to work and we're here to make everything go smooth. And we have to have rules because a lot of people don't like them, but the rules do have to be the same. It's only fair for all of us, people who live here, people who work here, people who visit, that the rules are going to apply to everyone. It's not fair that certain people are allowed to do certain things, and it's gotten to the point where it has really torn a lot of people apart in here, and we just want to do everything straight by the board. Like I said, other housing authorities, we've been very lucky here. But unfortunately, talking to other directors, that's why they had to stop things, because unfortunately, you may think, you know, it's okay for you, but your neighbor may not think it. So we just need to be straight.
If something's not hitting the floor, how can it be blocking the emergency?
Oh, that's sorry, Vanessa.
I know you're stuck on $3,000.
Is there any objection to hanging flowers at here? It's not part of any policy.
I don't, have we discussed the hanging pots?
No, we're gonna have to look at it and see if there's any problems. If there's no
We're
problem.
gonna address the hanging pots at the next meeting.
And the brooms that are on the wall?
Honestly, I don't think we should be walking behind everybody.
Clothespins?
I
Come on, I
think
gotta bring it all in.
you rent from 4 walls in. Everything else is common property.
I've been here for 11 years, they've been hanging.
I understand that, but the problem is what's
Can you
that?
have a small storage like
No,
rock?
no, you can't have, the porches all along are designed to be free and clear of.
Yeah, because like his is against the fence.
Bob, not talking about Bob.
Yeah, I'm talking like, and as an example, if
No.
somebody said if you wanted a place to take your, you could put them in a closet, that's not a big.
I don't wanna go up and down the stairs either, it's hard enough to go up and down the stairs
Now, the
to
rules-
go get my broom and
The
my mop.
rules, I guess, were voted by the board that there's no personal property in common areas and everybody's going to have to follow the same rules. And we're sorry, but I
Pass the
can't.
rule before we can speak.
Well, the tenants don't make the rules, the board does.
We know that, but they are kind enough to listen to us.
Yeah.
I will say, we didn't change any rules. We might have clarified a little bit, but the rules were always there.
Not
They-
the porch, because I read what the porch used to be.
I specifically, in my motion, said we're not making a change to that, we're just gonna make sure we
Excuse me.
enforce it.
There's one thing that we should sell right now, is the porches. And I like this man's idea.
Yes.
It's safe, it's a proper thing to do. It's a common area. I mean, I'd like to get that sell right now. Nothing on the porches.
It's been said.
It's been said.
That's not my rule, that's the fire department rule
You
too.
can bring your folding chair out there.
Yeah.
And just bring it in the house.
That's it. That's all.
Actually, you can leave the fold-up chair out as long as it's folded up. Yes, as long as it's folded up.
To me, that makes sense. Everybody's safe that way, the exit's not blocked. And everybody has that right to do. If you have 4 tenants in a building,
That,
you know.
It's an emergency.
that's the issue. With one person leaving one thing out, it's not an issue, but when you have something, everybody needs
What
stuff out.
it is, you know, there's tables or chairs outside, either the front yard, the backyard. It's just a folding chair we have to take with us every day and bring in.
Yes.
Okay.
We want you guys to use the property. Like, yeah, we have a fire pit over there, bring your folding chair, light a fire. We're not saying we don't want you to use the property.
We,
It's very hard for some to keep, to lug a chair. I mean, some are using walkers, they're gonna be lugging a chair.
we with the housing authority and we with the Lions have tried to make the outside better. We bought the gliders, we've supplied things to
Yep.
to help, you know, we got donations and we got the gazebo going. It's not
I
that,
will be using the
yeah,
gazebo.
it's,
We got beautiful swings.
it's not at all because we don't want you to be outside. It's just, everybody has to share the same stuff so that it's not your stuff, his stuff, her stuff, and our stuff everywhere, because that's just too much stuff. I'm not sure that comes down to stuff.
Another thing you need to enforce, which I'm an animal lover and it doesn't bother me, but there's dog poop.
So that actually is on the next meeting. And unfortunately, everybody's
You
gonna have to
really
go.
have to watch when
She's
you're
got-
walking that you're not stepping in it.
She's got the camera, she knows who's doing that.
We, that's for the next meeting, but the dog rule is gonna be enforced too, so.
So we don't know if it's the animals that are, wild. Because remember one time we had problems with poop and it was, I think it was geese poop or turkey poop.
That
It
was a lot different than dog.
Yeah.
That was a lot different.
Leave this to the next meeting.
I think we can,
Move
yeah,
on, Mr.
yes.
Okay,
Chairman.
now, all you have to do is keep in mind that nobody's trying to make your life harder. It's just to try to make it safer and fair for everybody. That's what these rules are all about. Just look at it that way, please. Okay?
Yep.
Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thanks a lot for coming, people.